Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today we have Alyssa McElheny with us, Elite 15 athlete, 2:34 marathon runner, and quite possibly the happiest athlete we've ever seen tear up a Hyrox course. In Warsaw, she didn't just show up, she dropped a 55:56, which is the third fastest time ever, the fastest elite debut we've ever seen, and she punched a ticket straight to Stockholm and the world champs. So today we had to get her on the podcast. We want to find out more about Alyssa, as we know she's got a super exciting future in the sport. So we are very, very grateful for your time, bud. Thanks for coming to join us today.
Yeah, I'm honored. I like since again it's only been like 4 or 5 months, but since being in the sport, like the thing that's been the most exciting to me is just like the people I've gotten to interact with. And you guys are no exception. So yeah, just thrilled to meet new people. Love to talk.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, we're super excited to have you on. But I mean, usually I start by saying, like, take me back or talk about your background. But I feel like maybe we do it in reverse because everyone's so pumped about Warsaw that's just happened. So, can you just like give us a little insight into how it feels to have qualified for Worlds and that race, putting down an incredible time, and you were smiling so much during it. So, chat us through it.
Yeah, I so it was my first like elite 15 race. Honestly, I was kind of surprised I wasn't a little like more in my feels or nervous about it. I guess I'm used to, I'm sure we'll get into it. I'm used to like elite running races. So I'm not like totally new to that whole like elite scene, but definitely new to the whole elite Hyrox scene. Um, yeah, Warsaw was beautiful. I had no idea what to expect with Poland. Have either of you been to Poland?
No. No, I haven't actually. And honestly, so many people have said it's the nicest place. So it's definitely on our cards to go.
Yeah, and for me, it wasn't before. Not in like a negative way. It just wasn't like on
Yeah.
my high list of like places to check off. And yeah, Warsaw was beautiful. Like incredible food scene. I'm a big like I love restaurant research. I love food. So like that was really fun, kind of a surprise to see. I was also shocked by like the amount of people that came out to watch and cheer for the Elite 15 races. I was kind of like, there's, people that they have their own races and everything. Like no one's gonna, not no one, but not a lot of people are gonna take the time
Yeah.
to like, come out and like just watch us 15 people like run around a course. But it was incredible. Like the amount of times I like heard my name or like people were
Oh.
specifically cheering, um, just like right at you. I don't know. Like I feel like that's why I was smiling for the most part. Like it just felt so like loving and supportive. Yeah, the community, the people were great. And I'm a big believer in like the more like if you smile during a race or a run or whatever, like there's something about that like tricks your body a little bit, like tricks your body or tricks your brain into being like, "Oh no, I'm feeling good. I'm having a good time." Like forget these negative feelings, forget like how my body's actually feeling, like I'm happy, I'm smiling, we're good. We're good. It's good. I feel like between those two things, that's the smile, like the gift of it all, but also the like I don't know. It's a big mental game more than a physical game in my book. So you can just help your brain along a little bit in that way. Not a bad thing. um, oh man, yeah, I feel like I could just like blab about this race for a long time. Um,
Yeah. No, go for it. Like, let us know. Let us know how it felt. How did it feel at the beginning? What did it feel like turning up, doing the whole Elite 15 thing, getting your kit? How was all that? And what it was like? What was it like meeting all the other girls and getting ready for the race, the lead up to it?
yeah, the technical meeting and all that kind of stuff definitely throws me for a little bit of a loop, whether it's like a road race, like running my background, or this Hyrox elite meeting. It's it puts you in this space of like starting to really think about the race and like you see all your competitors. And there's just like this kind of like nervous energy in the room. Um, so don't love that. Like the day before, I'm almost just like, I don't want to think about it really. Like I know it's
Mm.
happening, but like I don't need to be in that like nervous space yet. So that's a little tough. But yeah, I was just like so floored by how friendly and welcoming the guys were, the girls were, like everybody was. I had so many people like during like the walkthrough or during warm-ups kind of come up to me and be like, "Hey, I'm Vivian, like if you need anything, if you have any questions, like let me know. We're here to help." So just to be welcomed and feel welcomed right off the bat, is not, I think, something that's usual or typical in every like realm of sport. So that felt really good to be a part of that. And I also like I would love to be a part of that, welcoming group and feeling going forward. So just I don't know, giving what you get in the future. But yeah, so that again, nerve-wracking, but also like the people made it a lot easier to let a little bit of those nerves go in terms of like the first time nerves. Like again, I've never run an elite course before. I've always run with the masses. That was really different. Yeah, I'm trying to give other like big differences. That was probably the biggest switch is just the runs were empty. So
yeah, and you would have had your own judge as well, wouldn't you,
oh
for the elite? What was that like, having a judge like assigned to you for the race?
yeah. So I think they said they did this for the first time. We actually got to meet our judge before the race. My judge's name was Monica, and it was her first time judging an elite race too. So we kind of bonded over that.
That's cool. That's cool.
My first time, we're gonna be fine. But it was really helpful because we got like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes to like show them like our wall ball form, our burpee broad jump form, and our lunge form. So they kind of knew what they were going to see out on the course. And that gave them like an opportunity to point out if there was something they were seeing during that little like preview, they could kind of let us know ahead of time. Like I know I showed her my burpee broad jump form, and a couple times she kind of said like, make sure your feet are parallel. So that's something I could know ahead of time and know to watch and just think about during the race. So it was like a really nice like added touch to be able to do that. Yeah.
Oh, that is super cool. And I guess because at your guys' level, and we've had like a lot of the elite girls on here, and they've said like sometimes just because you're so focused and you're in the race and the judge is telling you something and you're trying to take it in, but you're also trying to do what you're trying to do, and it becomes a lot and it can put you off your game. So if you can meet them before and have a look at your form and just get some idea, at least if they say something to you, you've got an idea that it might be, for example, a staggered stance or something.
What they're talking about. Yeah. So I thought that was, again, the first time they've done it. And I thought that was like a really, at least for me, it felt like a really nice added touch to be able to maybe see what was up before you actually got on the race course and got that yellow card or got that red card.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did get a yellow card for burpee broad jumps. And then like I feel like it most of the time it's because you're, like you said, you're in it and you're just trying to like move quickly. So I feel like you get that yellow card and it's just like, okay, let me just like be a little more deliberate, like slow down, like pay attention to what I'm doing. Cause ultimately like the extra, quarter of a second for going a little bit slower on each burpee broad jump is going to be better than that penalty that adds up later. So yeah, just calming down a little bit helped.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, did you have a race plan? Like, did you know what you were going to do going in with it being like your first elite race, or did you really kind of just see what happened with the other girls racing?
Yeah, there definitely was some unknown. Again, like just with different courses out there, like I'll be the first to admit that like I think Warsaw was a really fast course. Like I ran well, but like that's a really fast time that will be like difficult to achieve again. So you see girls' times coming in, same from London. Like you just don't know what kind of courses, what kind of times stack up. So it's hard to fully predict like where you'll be in that group. Since starting in this sport, I've had a pretty like I have a lot of belief in myself. I know the kind of athlete I am, and I think I believed that I could be in that top three. Didn't really have any like exact data, but that was definitely a goal. And then the run is obviously my strong suit. But we've noticed that if I take the runs like to the pace at which I'm capable of taking the runs, sometimes my stations end up suffering for it. Just because I am so new to that whole side of things. I've been doing this for 5 months and been running for like 22 years. So yeah, the run is like comfortable. I'm able to recover. But I've noticed that if I am fully extending myself on the run, sometimes my stations suffer for it. And hopefully that won't be a thing, the next month I'm in the sport, the next month, the next race. That's something that will like come and build. Again, I'm new. But so yeah, our plan was to take the runs like at a pretty conservative, like not recovery pace, but like a pace that just to me feels like I can recover. I mean, it was a little bit slower than my marathon pace even. So just to take the runs at a chill-ish pace.
What was your chill-ish recovery pace?
I think my Ks were like 3. No, you know what? I'd have to look. I think the Ks on the course were a little bit longer. The rock zones were so short.
Yeah.
Ks ended up being a little bit longer. So I think the pace per K is actually not like
No. But like what about it? What's your marathon pace? Like chill,
yeah.
like
Oh boy, I'm gonna be bad at this because I'm not great with kilometers. I'll have to like Google it.
okay.
I'm gonna quick look it up. So it's
Because I
5:55.
feel like what you're gonna say is your chill marathon pace is like what I do my strides out or something. You have to be.
No.
It will be. But I just think it's really good to know just out of interest because it's like just understanding like when you're racing that race, what you're able to recover at to be able to go
Yeah.
into a station, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like so my marathon pace is 5:55 per mile, and it says that's equivalent to 16.3 kilometers per hour. Does that make any sense?
Oh my God, yes,
I don't know. So
16.3 on
that's
it.
like,
I don't know what
What's
that
that on a
means.
treadmill?
I
Hang
don't
on.
know.
We gotta do this. Like make
You're gonna
conversation amongst yourself.
it's gotta be like, is it like a 3:30? Okay.
Yeah. 3:30. Yeah. No, we're
Three,
good. It's like 3:30 is like right about what I do.
yeah, that's
That's
wild.
correct. Yeah. So
God.
that's again most races. Um, yeah, and again, I've dipped into the 320s a little bit, but that's
Yeah.
kind of where we end up. So yeah, the plan was to keep it around there or a little more chill, so that like hopefully at the stations I could, at least for the first little bit, try and like stay close to Lauren and Joanna, try and match them a little bit.
Mm.
Definitely got away from me once we hit the burpee broad jumps. That's my definitely my most difficult station. Not
Mm.
difficult, the station I need the most work in. Just need to work
Yeah.
on picking up that pace. And I drop into a really deep squat when I land and trying to fix that. Got a like almost a couple months till Stockholm. So we'll see if I can like iron out some of those bugs by then. Cause yeah, I'd love to be able to stick on them for longer. So we're getting there.
I mean, that's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting to have, I think, when you come into a sport and there's so much you can improve on. Because, like, when you get to the point where you've been in it a while and you've, like, nailed that burpee technique and your erg technique's really good, and, like, you're so fresh into it that you're running so good that you can now just, like, find all that time on the stations. That's super
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, like I know it will take time. I know it's not like an overnight thing. I'm impatient, so it's hard that it won't happen right away. But yeah, I think I was like a minute and a half behind Joanna by the end. But to like go through it afterwards and see that there is like almost every single station, like there's something that we want to change or work on or flip or just get better at, is really exciting to me. So yeah, that'll be fun.
God, that's so cool. That's so cool. Can we take it back now? Because obviously we've just like touched on your running. We've just touched on the fact you spoke about your marathon pace and the fact that 3:30 is your chill and that's like me sprinting. So like let's take it all the way back. How did you get into sport? Did you get into running straight away? And how did you end up being such a ninja runner? Like how did that whole process work?
Yeah, it was, I know, so growing up, I feel like my dad tried to put me in every sport possible, like all the ball sports.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of like basketball, like I mean, I was gonna say soccer, but football, and then like t-ball, like softball, all the things. And I don't know, it just never really stuck for me. I was the one that was like either just like kind of out in the field, like playing with the dirt. I was just not. I'm not. I don't know if I necessarily have that like hand-eye coordination. Maybe it just takes practice and reps, but we never got there. So yeah, I was like, I think a seventh grader. So I don't know, I was like 12 years old or something. I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, in the U.S., and we have this like the USATF hosts the 25K championships every year in Grand Rapids in the spring. And so my elementary school, they did like and it was called the Riverbank Run. So they did the Creek Bank Run for all the kids, and it was a 5K instead of 25K, and ran against like all the other sixth, seventh, and eighth graders in the school, and I beat everybody but like one boy, and got done with that and was like, yeah, I could maybe do this running thing. I don't know. So yeah, did like middle school and high school, cross country and track and field, did kind of like the more long distance end of things. And then collegiately got into the steeplechase, 3K steeplechase.
Oh, no.
I actually I feel like I've thought about this a lot. And to me, there's a lot of parallels between that race and then like a Hyrox race. I would never be like a track 10K runner. Like my brain just can't handle like that monotony of like lap after lap after lap. But like steeplechase, there's barriers and there's water pits, and like every seventh of the track you get to like refocus and like do something different. And to me, that's Hyrox. Like
Yeah.
right? Like they're like
Yeah.
that's same. So,
Did you Did you meet Gabby? Gabby Moriarty when you were out there? She raced the doubles with Zara.
No, I didn't.
She's
Is
a
she also
she did steeplechase. And who else did it? What there was who else with Gabby?
there's probably some.
There's another Elite 15 athlete. Like how random.
Yeah, and
You
I
guys
met a
all did it.
couple guys that were also steeplechasers. So I think it's
Yeah.
like that mix of like I'm a runner, but I also have like a little bit of like athleticism, and I also have that brain that like I'm gonna get bored if it's just circles. So like give me a few circles, but then also like let me throw some wall balls and let me like push a sled. And so yeah, I feel like the more I've thought about that, the more I'm like, this makes sense. Like definitely makes sense. I'm not just a runner. I meant to do like something more than just the monotonous lap after lap after lap.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I was a like decent collegiate runner. Nothing too impressive. I feel like I have really like hit my stride post collegiately. I kind of took a few years after college to just like run for just fun. I coach high school track and field and cross country, so I just like run with the kids I coach. Yeah, just for fun. And then I don't know what it was that made me like kind of get the itch to be competitive again, but something flipped. I don't know what it was. I still can't pinpoint it. So yeah, then tried to start to try to qualify for the Olympic trials in the US. This is like a decently long story. Should I get into it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like come
go.
on, let's get
We're
into
here.
it. Yeah, we're here now. We're ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So back in 2016, was kind of the first cycle I tried to qualify for trials. This time standard was 2:45.
So this isn't the marathon. Sorry, this isn't in steeplechase. This is marathon now.
Yeah. So yeah,
okay.
post college, I tried to jump, or I did jump to the marathon. Just
Okay, cool.
At least in the U.S., I'm not sure about where you guys are, but it's just difficult as an adult to find track meets. Is that similar for where you are? Is it different?
I mean, I don't really know. We haven't really been in athletics, so I'm not really sure
fair.
on that. But I can understand what you mean. If it's harder as an adult to even do like team sports or anything like that, it's a lot easier to do like an individual sport and try and I guess go to a race, isn't it? So I get what you mean.
Road races are so accessible. Like there's a road race every weekend. So, and yeah, you don't have to be like elite to enter. You can be anybody. So yeah, tried to qualify for the Olympic trials in 2016, and I needed to run 2:45. I ran 2:52 twice. So like kind of failed there. Fine. I decided to keep trying for the next cycle, which was going to be in 2020. They kept the standard the same. It was going to be 2:45. Tried again, didn't hit the time, failed. I think I tried like 3 times that in between those years. And for some reason decided to like not let it go. Even though I like wasn't measuring up to what I needed to measure up to. And I think 2020 hit and they, ran the trials and I was obviously not there. I didn't hit the time. And I think I thought like, I remember saying to my husband, like, yeah, I think this is it. Like I've tried a bunch of times and like, this is done. Shortly after that, they announced that the standard was dropping from 2:45 to 2:37. So like an 8-minute drop. And I was like, okay, well, that's all the answer I needed. Like if I was unsure before, and now I'm definitely sure, this is probably not my path. And I think I woke up the next morning and was like, nope, I'm going to keep trying. Like, I can't let this go. I'm stubborn. I'm competitive. I'm stubborn. I'll beat my head against the wall some more. So yeah, found a coach, made a bunch of strides, got into the 240s a couple times, which again is still not as fast as what I needed. And then eventually, I don't remember, this is probably 2 or 3 years ago, our local like run specialty store, which is called Gazelle Sports, they started an elite team called Gazelle Elite. So I was able to like get support through them, and then have a coach through them as well. So just like that consistency, that structure was really helpful for me, and was able to run like 2:35, which is faster than the standard. Did it in a time when I wasn't able to qualify for that race. Like the cycle wasn't open yet. So then this fall in November, I ran 2:34, 3 minutes under the standard. Good to go. Crossed off that lifelong dream. And yeah, I think like to me, the biggest thing there, the thing I hope people see is like, yeah, I don't know. I failed 8 times before I finally like hit my goal. And to not that every goal is necessarily achievable, but if you set a realistic goal that's, seems pretty high and lofty, like if you just keep hammering at it and trying new things, like try new fueling, try new coaching, try different shoes, play around with all the different puzzle pieces, take the time. Yeah, like it can happen. So yeah, I hope that people see that failure and can be proud of that failure and what comes out of it. So
Yeah, amazing. Like literally that's amazing. Like to go from 250s, I mean that straight off the bat is just unreal. But to go from that to think that you're not going to be able to achieve it to then run a 234 is just wild. Like at that pace and that time, like knocking what like 20 minutes off is crazy.
that's
Yeah.
when you say 20 minutes, that's wild. Yeah, I don't really see
Yeah.
Yeah,
why
it
that's
is. That's mental. What gave you the self-belief? Because obviously you've said it as well about Hyrox that, and that's something that I think you can't ever like get. You can't teach that. But also,
Mhm.
it's the one thing that probably will take you further than other people because you have to believe in yourself and believe you can do something to, be wild enough to get up the next day and be like, no, I'm going to keep going. Because like so many people would just stop and think it's
Yeah,
unachievable. So what do you think it is that's given you that mindset?
that's a good question. I don't know. I think a lot of it is how I don't know how my parents raised me. I think a lot of it is what like, mom and dad instilled in me as a kid. And there was never, um, yeah, there's never something that like I mean, if a parent tells a kid like, you can't do that, that might be a red flag too. But, um, yeah, I always just like so strongly felt like their support and their belief in me.
Mm.
Um, and that's a big part of it. I've had great coaches that also, are kind of the same way. Especially my high school coach, Doug Jagger. Yeah, same thing. Like there was never like a barrier or like there was never a like a mark I couldn't reach in his brain, I don't think. So just like having those people surrounding you in life that are in your corner so strongly definitely helps. But yeah, there's definitely something innate about it too. Yeah, I don't, yeah, like you said, I'm not sure it's something that can be taught. I've had a lot of like self-confidence and self-belief since I was a kid. And yeah, I think just the people around me have helped like foster that instead of stifle that.
Yeah, see, but you obviously had moments of doubt as well. But
Yeah.
how do you like? Yeah, I just find it crazy. I think it's so cool that you can be because like, a lot of people second guess themselves. But
Yeah.
what did you do to? I know you said you changed coaches. Was there
Hmm.
anything massive that you changed? Like obviously you just got, like Em said, 20 minutes faster at marathon pace at a run. For anyone out there that's thinking they just want to improve their high rocks, their 5K, their 10K, what did you do? Because even if you did change coaches, did you change like the volume? Did you change the way you trained? Did you change? I don't know.
Yeah,
What did you change?
yeah, a
Asking for a
lot.
friend.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Um,
just curious,
no, third party. I Yeah, so I think that I mean, first of all, I live a life that allows me to train at a pretty high level currently. Like I'm self-employed, so I'm able to kind of make my schedule, and that's really helpful. That I can have different times of the day that work for me to train. So yeah, when it was just marathoning back before Hyrox, I definitely upped my volume. I was running. I'm gonna have to Google the conversion here too. So I was running 100 miles per week, which is like 160 kilometers per week. Thank you, Google. Yeah, doing that and like there was a few days that would be doubles. So like, taking the time to be able to run twice a day. I was not doing any strength training during that period, which that might have helped too, which I'm actually kind of excited to see how that like strength piece from like the Hyrox now does translate into I feel like I'm already a better, more athletic, more poppy runner. So that's going to be fun to see out on the race course when I'm doing just a pure running race again, which I don't know when that will be, but we'll see. um, so yeah, definitely the volume was helpful. I'm a pretty durable athlete. I'm not super injury prone. I've been running for 22 years and I've had one kind of like overuse injury. So I'm really fortunate in that department. So yeah, up to volume, huge help. There's no like skirting around that. It was really helpful. Um, the coaching piece was huge. I if I'm coaching myself or writing my own training, there's like certain workouts that I'm just never gonna do. Like 3 by 3 miles sounds awful, or I don't know how. So yeah, 3 by 5K sounds terrible. Like at threshold, I don't want to do that. No one wants to do that. Um, So sometimes it just takes a coach who you're like accountable to put it on your schedule. And you're like, well, okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have written this for myself, but here we go. So that piece is helpful, that accountability piece. My coach, Sam, with my Gazelle Elite team has been a great, like, collaborative person to work with, especially trying to transition from just running to now running in Hyrox. It's definitely been like a puzzle to figure out together. So it's been fun. And then I'd say the third piece for me has been the fueling. I did not always do a great, like, intentional job with getting in enough food. Um, I was fortunate, like, I've been running since middle school. So through high school, through college, and I've been fortunate to I've never fully struggled with like an eating disorder, which is, especially among like female distance runners, is just like rampant. It's everywhere in the sport. And I really appreciate that, like, in today's world, it's a lot more talked about and it's a lot more on the surface, at least with like a lot of the female runners I'm around. So that's refreshing and healthy. But yeah, I think I've never done a great job of getting in enough fuel at the correct times. So that's something that in the last few years I've really worked on, to be able to realize that, yes, I can go for, a 20-mile long run and I can do it without fuel, but it's better if I take fuel. Like, yeah, you can get through it, but like you'll feel better and your body will be in a better spot afterwards if you do take those gels. During the run, you won't be in that hole when you're done. And then also like learning to get in like good protein, good carbs, like pretty quickly post run, is something that I didn't used to do a good job with. So I'd say between like the upped volume, the like accountability and coaching, and then the fueling, I feel like those were my biggest three changes that I made between, 2016 starting to attempt to qualify to, now 2025 and finally hitting that standard.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's good. It's cool to it's cool to hear. And I think with a lot of people, how a lot of people relate to it, especially the fueling, and it comes up time and again on our podcast now. How's your training changed? Well, firstly, how did you find out about Hyrox, and how did you move from the marathon? Did you do the Olympic trials? Were they at the beginning of this year? I've just jumped through three questions there. Sorry.
I got
I'm
all
like,
of them.
oh, I've added this, and then I'm like, hang on, I want to know that, and I'm like, hang on, I want to know this. Let's start at the like finish the running journey, then how you got into Hyrox and how your training's changed. There we go.
Perfect. Yeah, so it was the Indianapolis Marathon in November of 2025, so just a few months ago. And then so that race qualified me for the Olympic trials, which will happen right now it's either like Phoenix, Arizona or St. Louis, Missouri. That will happen in the spring of 2028. Ways away. Yeah, like I have, is that like almost 2 years from now?
That's wild.
2 years to really mess around with Hyrox.
Yeah.
And I've been asked this question a couple of times of like, will you still run the Olympic trials now that Hyrox is kind of like your primary sport? And I definitely still feel like I will. To me, it's kind of like a lifetime thing. Like I've qualified. I would love to be able to be in that field and run, but it might look different than it would have if I hadn't found Hyrox. I think it'll just be, Hyrox training, and then we'll add in some long runs on the weekends, something like that.
Sorry, yeah. Can I jump in? Why Hyrox? Why not just focus on the running? Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not that it's the wrong thing to do. I'm just intrigued as to like, why did it even become a like question if that was your goal before?
Yeah, like, to qualify for Olympic trials and be like, okay, gonna switch.
Yeah. This is a great time now. I've done it, and now I'm gonna go and try Hyrox.
Really no good at this running thing. Like, let's try a different sport. Such a good question. I've been asked that a lot too by like friends and family. It's like, well, you did this. Like now it's like, is this Hyrox thing like a little side quest? Like, what are we doing here? So yeah, as a marathoner, I'm a good runner, but there's this like, and it's not a self-belief thing. There's just like a little bit of a ceiling for me. Again, people in my life I'll say this and they'll be like, no, but I'm not going to be this like 2:22 marathon runner. Like I'm a little bit big and tall and muscular to be like this. Like I'll stand on my average start line of like an elite marathon and taller than everyone, bigger than everyone, not in a bad way, just my body is maybe meant for something a little bit different than a marathon. So obviously did a great job with doing the marathon and making it, stick and work and be really fun and rewarding. But the second I tried a Hyrox, I'm like, oh, this is what my body's meant to do. So yeah, I lead like a run club every Monday night in Grand Rapids where I live. And there was this guy that started coming last spring. His name's Noah. He like talked my ear off about Hyrox. Like every single time he came, like we would run together and it would be like, oh, I'm doing New York or I'm doing Vegas, or telling me about his races. And I was like, man, I'm this marathoner. I'm trying to qualify for Olympic trials. I don't really need to hear about your Hyrox. He was like, let's, we should do a doubles. I was like, I'm focusing on something else. He's like, well, what if we do a doubles after your race? I was like, sure, sign me up, whatever. And then he signed us up. So then I ended up doing Dallas with him like 2 weeks after my marathon in November. And yeah, just loved it. Like my body wasn't ready for it because I think it was like the day before we left, we like went into the gym I train in, which is 8th Day Gym in Grand Rapids. And we worked with my coach, my now coach, Joe Sabalski, and pushed a sled for the first time, carried sandbags for the first time, like did all these, just got in a rower, got in a ski erg for the first time, and like made it work. So yeah, we ran that in Dallas. Was super sore after just because I'd never done anything like that before. But yeah, instantly fell in love with it. Like I think pretty quickly realized that like this is what my body's built to do, honestly, which is kind of crazy that there's a sport that, got made up and created, and like I feel like I'm born to do it. So yeah, loved it, loved the crowds, loved the atmosphere, loved the energy. And then yeah, talking with my coach, we're like, we got to try and go the solo route, see if we can like cram this in before Warsaw, which was like pretty tough. Like got a ticket to Vegas in like I think it was early February. Yeah, something like that. So ran in Vegas and ran, I think like 1 hour, 55 seconds, which was like a good start, like fast enough to kind of get in that conversation of like, could be in that top 15 for Warsaw. And then signed up for Houston, thought that would be like, you need 2 times to, get into that elite 15, and was told that Houston was 1 day too late in terms of the window. So couldn't do Houston, scrambled. My current agent at Ripple Sports helped me find a ticket to Glasgow. So we flew across the pond. We're in Glasgow for a week and competed there. I don't know how much, maybe you've heard this, but yeah, I spit and I had no idea that was a rule, which is totally my fault. But spit, got a 2-minute penalty. So then my time there was, because of that penalty, not fast enough to take me to Warsaw. Scrambled again, found a ticket 4 days later to Toulouse and competed there, ran 58:26. And that was like, thankfully, what I needed to get that elite 15 berth for Warsaw. So it was quite a quick journey to go from like having not done a pro solo race, and then between February and the end of March to get in 3 of them to qualify for Warsaw in April was just like bam, 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 bam. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind, but it's been like, I will say like negatives, positives, but it's all just been so fun.
Yeah. You want to say something, don't you, Em? Just for everyone listening, Em's lost her voice from shouting so much this week taking classes. So I'm aware that sometimes she probably doesn't want to speak, but I can see she's like desperate to get involved in the conversation. And so I'm like, go on then, get it out.
I apologize, guys. You don't want to listen to me, but I'll be quick. Do you find the like Hyrox race super short because it's like an hour compared to like running a marathon? And like, do you think that helped being able to do back-to-back races and like recover in between? Because that's a lot of racing in a short time frame.
Yeah, it definitely was. Was a little bit nervous about that going into Toulouse too. Like I was like, I've made this trip and flight, and like, is this going to be worth it? Am I just like wasting more time and money? Was definitely nervous about that, especially the day before warming up in Toulouse, like doing like a shakeout run. Body felt terrible. So that was kind of in my head beforehand of like, oh no, like I don't know that this is going to go well. And obviously it did. But yeah, I definitely agree with that sentiment of, I'm used to running for 2.5 hours, and especially that last hour is like it can be a pretty like dark, painful place, depending on the race. So yeah, to me, like I remember in Warsaw specifically seeing the clock tick over to like 31 minutes and just being like, oh, like I'm more than half done. Like, what the heck? Like I've barely been out here. What do you mean I'm almost half done? So yeah, I've joked, I've said that like I think my ideal sport, I'm built for this sport, but I think the ideal sport for me would be a double Hyrox.
Yeah.
Do it all
Yeah,
twice.
man. I mean, there's nothing saying that that's not coming. I can see
I
like some
know.
kind of like ultra Hyrox coming
Yeah.
someday.
It's all the wild, wild west out there. Like there's rules changes and there's everything. So yeah, definitely not an impossibility someday. I'm sure it could be like a fun, like kind of showcasey, like special extra kind of a thing. But yeah, I think that would be my bread and butter. Double Hyrox, bring it on.
And then
No one else wants that. No one else
no,
is.
no, everyone's done then. Everyone's like, I've done wall balls. I'm not going back to the start and doing it again.
Oh, okay. Now that you say that, I'm like, oh no. I'm trying to think about like after wall balls being like, back to the run. Here's another K. Like,
Yeah,
gotta go
that's
through.
a run.
Okay, maybe I'm changing my mind. But yeah, I definitely think my background and being used to being at like a high heart rate for that long, for 2.5 hours is definitely an advantage. I do pretty firmly believe that like coming at the sport from a running background is, at least for me, a huge advantage. It obviously takes time to build like strength, and it obviously takes time to build like your aerobic engine, but I feel like that aerobic engine can oftentimes, like, I have 22 years of just like miles on months on years, and I feel like that's such an advantage. Again, building strength also takes time, but I feel like it's a different animal. So yeah, I like that I'm coming at it from the way I'm coming at it. Got a lot of room to improve in the strength pieces. And I've already, I mean, if you could see like my ski form or my pull, like from when I started a few months ago, it's already just drastically improved. So only up from here.
Yeah, that's cool. And then because you did a lot of races in a short time frame as well, do you think that set you up well for Warsaw? Because had you have qualified like straight away and just like, you know, then had a bit of a break and gone to Warsaw with not as much racing experience, I guess you kind of got like thrown into loads of back-to-back Hyrox
Yeah.
races. So do you think that helped you as well? Just like learn the course, learn the techniques, learn what comes next? Because I mean, being so new and then getting chucked into an elite race, you're probably like, oh, sugar, what's after the burpees? Is that the, you know?
Yeah, no, I think just like, yeah, like you said, like the freshness or the repetitiveness of that race in that order, like being so like in my brain, top of mind all the time was definitely helpful. I will say that is one thing I feel like was incredibly like nice about an Elite 15 race. Again, I've only, besides that, when I've only raced like open pro races, um, yeah, like there's just a little bit less confusion. Like most people are kind of on the same lap. So like tracking the runs was a little easier. And then even like when you'd come into a station, there'd be like head judges kind of like ushering you where you needed to go. So yeah, different, but like I honestly found it a little bit easier, which I don't know, I think that'll kind of, that's, I mean, maybe a reason why, next year they're adding like the second 15, like the D1 type thing, like to give more people that advantage of being able to run on a quieter course. Yeah, I think that'll definitely be helpful for lots of people trying to break into that Elite 15.
Yeah, totally. And how did you feel like back to the race, like running out with Lauren and Joe? Were you like, oh, cool, they're gonna go hot. I'm just gonna like sit on them. Like as a good runner, I'd be like, oh, I love this because that's the
Yeah.
bit that most of the girls are like, oh, they go out hot. You must have been like, I'm ready for you.
Yeah, here we go. And I think that's something that, without like giving too much away, like, yeah, again, the race strategy was to like let people go out hot. Like most of them will come back. And again, like I did, like I was with like a little bit behind Joanna, like right with Lauren, through those sleds. So like those quick runs definitely, like I was able to catch back up just through running a consistent pace and like being pretty proficient in the sleds. But yeah, that's definitely something that we have not talked a lot about Stockholm yet, in terms of like decisions, race plan. I think we've just kind of like, I mean, Warsaw was only like a week and a couple days ago. So I think we've just kind of sat in that for a little bit, focus on getting back to training. But I'm sure in the next few weeks, we'll be doing a little more talking about like, okay, like Stockholm, are we playing it safe for, trying to, just aim for that third spot, or are we trying to go for a little more in Stockholm? Are we trying to like push those run paces like I know I can, and hopefully that just the few more months in the sport will cause my stations to not suffer quite as much because of those faster run paces. So there's a lot we have to talk about. um, yeah. I have ideas in my head. But yeah, we'll see what ends up getting fleshed out.
And as like a comparison, how has your training changed? Like obviously you mentioned earlier about like really upping the run volume when you were aiming to try and hit that marathon time for the Olympic trials. Like what does your week look like now? Because I'm guessing all eyes are on Stockholm just now, so you've got a block of training. Like how does that split look?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I think I was a little naive when I originally made the switch. I was like, yeah, I've been running, 100 miles, 160 kilometers a week. Like I can not do that, but I can come pretty close. Like I could run, 70, let me see, 70 miles to kilometers, 70 miles or like 112 kilometers per week and be pretty okay with that. And I think I've found that like, especially as of late, trying to implement a little bit more intense, longer Hyrox training sessions, that's not quite doable. So I found myself like hovering like right around like 55-ish miles a week, which is 88 kilometers per week. And that's been pretty sustainable. I try and do most runs during the week are like easy kind of, zone 2-ish runs. And then once a week, I'll try and do like a run specific workout day, whether that's on the track or like, mile K repetitions on the road. And then I still really love a long run. Like that'll be the rest of my afternoon today. I'm going to go try and get in like 16 miles. I'm going to convert it one more time. 25K. There we go. 25K. And I like long runs to be a little bit spicier. I feel like that like really helps me to be able to run that hour Hyrox race and have it, not feel crazy long or crazy taxing.
So do you run your long runs like a tempo run type thing rather than a long slow run, or what
Yeah.
pace? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a monster. I like to hurt a little bit. And to me too, it also just helps the time pass quicker. Like I'll do a little warm up and then sometimes just do like, like a 2K on, 2K off, 2K on, 2K off, just to break it up mentally and physically. I think that's really helpful. But yeah, I think that it's definitely been a learning curve balancing the running and the Hyrox work. I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to my running. It's been a little difficult for me to like let go of that like high mileage runner part of myself because I took a lot of confidence from that, a lot of my identity in that. So to let that 100 miles kind of slip and leave has been tough, but I've seen the benefits and I understand that like that's what needs to happen in order for me to end up where I want to end up in the Hyrox space. And then I think starting off too, I've been like, it's wild how this worked out, but the city I live in has a CrossFit gym called Eighth Day CrossFit. And literally right when I started Hyrox in November, they opened a Hyrox space and it's huge. Like there's like 30 center treadmills, there's 30 Concept 2 ergs, like 10 lanes of Hyrox turf, centered kettlebells, centered, sandbags. It's massive, like 8,000 square feet in my city. So like just wild that's like that coincidence happened. So we have like 9 Hyrox classes a week. So I'm able to hop in and like take classes with like such a variety of humans. Like I'm there, there's like, girls just out of college there. There's people that have never been in a gym before. There's like, 70-year-old women. It's like just such a fun variety. So to be able to hop in those classes a few times a week is also just like such a gift that I don't have to do everything solo. So yeah, it's fun to compete with some of the guys in class. Keeps things interesting. Going forward, I think this has been something my coach has said for a while, that like, I'm going to hold you back. Like, we're going to do classes, and I know you're going to want to do more, but like, being new to the sport, like, the least responsible thing I could do is let you like just go hog wild, because there's going to be an injury or there's going to be something. So we've kind of, in the last month or two, he'll have to remind me, he's like, yeah, you asked for harder workouts. Like, there'll be a workout that's like monotonous and boring and terrible. And he's like, you're the one that asked for this. Like, that's what we're doing now. So it's, yeah, definitely we're getting into like heavier Hyrox work, still running a lot, but that's becoming a little more of the focus instead of the running piece. Yeah, I think we're transitioning.
Yeah. No, it's super interesting.
Yeah, it is wild. And then, so do you see your future? I mean, and you don't really have to answer this. I mean, Hyrox have said that they want to become an Olympic sport as well. But like, do you see your future as like, now you're in Hyrox next season, the season after, that you're like really gunning for becoming a top elite Hyrox athlete that we're going to see at like most races, most majors, maybe the world champs every year? Or are you going to do it and you've obviously got these marathon trials and this dream? Do you want to get to the Olympics in the marathon as well as do Hyrox? Like, or do you not really know? Are you just like, I'm going to do both and see where I get to, or see if the Hyrox helps me with my marathon? Or I
Yeah.
don't know. Are you going to get to 2027 and be like, oh, I think I need to add a little bit more volume, like a little bit more running volume? Because
Yeah.
if
I
I'm
think
only
that'll
doing an hour Hyrox, and your Hyrox is faster than everybody else's, so you're not even on the course as long as everybody else.
that doesn't help.
No.
Yeah, I think I get it, just with how much like joy and excitement I've got from this sport already, and just feeling like physically it's what I'm meant to do. I think this is definitely my like future path. I would love to be in this sport for the next 6, hopefully, years, and hopefully be at a high level, throughout that 6 years. I'd love to compete in every major possible. I love to travel. So like, that's just like a joy that allows me to do that as well. See different countries I never thought I'd see, Poland. Yeah, I will run road races. I'm sure I'm not sure. It will be a part of like my training, and it's still something I like really enjoy doing. I love like, especially local like community road races. Like, I love being a part of that where I live. But yeah, I think I found pretty quickly that like my passion and my excitement right now is definitely more rooted in the Hyrox space. So that will be my main future going forward. Still catch me running at Olympic trials, but it's not going to be to the point where I'm, trying to be anywhere near that top 3 that will make the team. It's just going to be like a, for the joy of it kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You never know though. I mean, you'll have super powerful glutes after pushing that sled the whole time.
Yeah.
And you'll have loads of single leg strength, won't you? And
yeah, I think
strength.
it was, I mean, even or from the sandbag lunges too. I did like,
Yeah.
this was on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday I did like just a ski lunge workout, and did 30 lunge lengths with like the men's pro weight. So like a 30-kilogram sandbag. And like, yeah, my glutes in the last couple of days have just been like not functional. So yep, glutes are doing great.
Well, there you go. You never know. That might be the key to another 20 minutes off your marathon PB.
Yeah, I mean, I would be super interested to see like what changes I would feel or like achieve in a marathon if I were, to start and to implement like long runs back into training where I could run a good marathon. Yeah, I'd be super curious to see what that would look like. So we'll find out eventually.
Would you run a marathon like next season? Will you pop one in every year, or will you not run another one now until the Olympic trials?
That feels scary. Both feel scary.
That's such a random thing to say, isn't it? When's your next marathon? Or just Olympic trials in 2028?
Yeah, I feel like I would like mentally maybe need one before trials to be like, oh, I can still do this. But yeah, I think it would be just like one.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that is like a big shift in training. Like doing a marathon is not necessarily like a super helpful thing for like Hyrox training stimulus. So yeah, a lot of like, honestly, a lot of unknown and a lot of questions in the next couple of years. Just how those things will like marry. So yeah, I'll let you know as I know.
Yeah. I mean, it's super exciting, isn't it? And like, what a way from you saying like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it like that they've taken the time down that you need to
Yeah.
qualify to get into the Olympic trials, like, and then waking up the next day thinking I'll do it, to then
Yeah.
qualifying, to then also finding Hyrox, to then qualifying for the Elite 15, and now being an elite athlete in both, you know, like in America, to go to Olympic trials in America and the Elite 15 in
Yeah.
Hyrox World. I mean, wow, your 2026 has started off pretty well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like things if you had told me the things that had happened this year at this time last year, I would have been like, what do you mean there's another sport that I like more than marathoning? Like that what do you mean? Like that's not gonna happen. So yeah, just yeah, it's been so quick and it's been like overwhelming in some ways, but it's all just been so positive and I've had so
Mm.
many good experiences and met so many people I never would have met otherwise. And yeah, it's just been like, I mean, talking about like smiling on the course, like it's just 100% been a joy. Like I think I remember sitting on like the ski erg, not the ski erg, the rower.
The row.
I'm still new to this.
That's cool. That's cool. That's so
Yeah,
good.
sitting on the rower in Warsaw. And like, we're in this massive national stadium. And like, I just remember like looking up at the ceiling and just like kind of in awe of the whole venue, the whole like experience. Yeah, just like beaming, like how, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you were smiling so much on the rower. Everybody else is like in their pace and you're just looking around smiling. Were you just sitting there thinking, this is cool?
Yeah, such a gift. Like how many people get to experience something like this in life?
It's
I
just the
mean, I think,
fact you're like, okay to take it all in. I think I'd be like, oh my God, 800 meters. Okay, 700 meters. And there's Alyssa just looking around thinking, oh, this is great.
yeah, no, that the row is definitely like if there had to be a point in the race where I like have the best memory or like a very vivid, like visceral sense of like what I remember, it was definitely on the row. Like incredible. So
Crazy. Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, I feel like if anyone's not watched the race, they need to watch it back
Yeah.
just so that they know what we're talking about. Um, but before I round up, I was just going to ask, is there anything we touched on like fueling a little bit, but is there anything else specific, like as a female athlete, you've obviously been like an elite athlete for a number of years, like that you do specifically, whether it's for training or recovery, that you think helps or any tips for anyone?
yeah, I mean, both of them are going to be pretty simple, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I think
shoot.
like, yeah, focusing on like, I'm not someone that like, I could probably benefit from like having a dietitian or seeing a dietitian. I don't love green foods. I really like brown foods. Not the healthiest eater, but I think just focusing on like getting in enough fuel is so much more important than like um that's someone's gonna skewer me for saying this, but yeah, like to me, like just the importance of getting in enough fuel
Mm.
um is just huge and really trumps any other like fuel considerations in my brain. And then my other big thing that I like, the other hill that I will die on is like for especially for female endurance athletes or female hybrid athletes is like ferritin and iron levels in your blood. Like my body doesn't process it great, so I take like I think like 180 milligrams of iron daily, which is more than most people do take or probably should take. So yeah, I that's something that I'll talk a lot about with our the female runners that I coach too. So just like getting your blood work done every couple times a year is like super important just to see if everything's happy because that can be so telling. So yeah, just staying on top of fueling, eating enough, and then like get your blood work checked. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
awesome.
important. Do you take anything in the race? Do you take gels in the race?
I did starting in Toulouse, and I felt like it was really helpful. Yeah, like I
Mm.
would always pop a gel like right before starting, but I was like, it's 50 minutes, like I'll be fine. But again, there's a difference between like I'll be fine and like I could be better. Like I found that like taking like even half a gel after the row will leave me at a better spot for wall balls. I'm not quite as like like whoa, like wall balls are actually like I feel like I'm in myself and like starting taking that half a gel I think made a big difference. So yeah. I so far like in my running career and in Hyrox so far I've used Martin and I feel like that works really well for me. Yeah.
Do you take their bicarb stuff before as well? You know, their
Ooh,
little
so,
bicarb paste?
yeah. So I saw a lot of the other elites doing that, and
Mm.
I have not done that for a Hyrox race yet. So I think in the next month or two, we'll probably do a couple like simulation races like at my gym, and I think I might give that a whirl and just see if I'm able to notice any differences. Because yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of people doing it. So
Yeah. And these the you know the Lucy Charles Barkley, like
Yeah.
Ironman world champ. She
Yeah.
always takes it. I've seen she always takes it.
Yeah.
Interesting. There's quite a few
It's a
athletes.
nasty little substance, but it works.
Yeah, just get it down you. You're not meant to chew it or anything, are you? You're just meant to like kind of get
Ah,
it. It's like paste, like wallpaper paste, isn't it?
yeah.
Apparently.
Basically some little tapioca balls in there and
Yeah. Mm.
this.
I mean,
Can't
if you
have all
don't like green stuff, I'm not sure you're gonna like bicarb. Although it is like beige.
no, it's fair. It's not green.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that's probably a good place to round up. We finished the podcast by asking what message or advice would you give to your younger self or the next generation of girls coming up if you have an answer for us that you want to finish on.
Yeah. Again, I coached high schoolers and middle schoolers, and so that's something I'm like very passionate about and often think actively about. Is like, what am I demonstrating or showing to the girls that like see me on a daily basis and see me run at a high level or see me compete in a Hyrox competition? Like, what message do I give off without even saying anything? And what I hope they take away from my racing and my running and who I am as a person is like, there's just so much media around like what you look like and what your body looks like. And it's absolutely impossible to avoid, whether it's Instagram or TV, movies, whatever. Especially nowadays, like when I was in high school, like it was just not as like present. You didn't have your, Discover feed that just keeps feeding you things that are healthy and unhealthy to see. So yeah, to me, it's like, hopefully I can demonstrate and teach them that like it's important to focus on what your body can do and like what it's able to achieve and like how powerful it is and how strong you can be, what your body can do instead of what it looks like. And I'm so passionate about that. And that was not always something that was easy for me either. Honestly, Hyrox has like changed, even in the last 3 months, has like changed my worldview on that. To go from focusing on like, yeah, what do things look like and like size of my body to just like, I don't care. Not that I don't care what my body looks like, but like I'm so much more invested in what it can do. Like, forget about looks, like what workouts, how do I need to move, what do I need to eat, how do I need to fuel so that like I can be at my best performance wise for my next race. So yeah, Hyrox has really helped me with that, honestly. So I hope that that's something that the girls I coach or just girls I come into contact with, women I come into contact with, can see and understand that, yeah, like let's focus on like what we can do instead of what we look like. So
yeah, love that. I think it's such an important message. Yeah,
really is.
That's it.
yeah.
So for anybody that wants to follow your journey, your Hyrox and marathon Olympic journey and see what you end up doing, because you might have a captive audience for the next like 2 to 3 years waiting to see what happens at these Olympic trials.
I'm waiting to start doing steeplechase again or something as well.
Yeah. In case you throw another sport in there and get to the Olympics or World Cup and something else. Where can everyone follow you?
Yeah, I'm mostly just on Instagram. It's going to be at Alyssa McElheny. I'm an overposter, so good luck.
You do, but you also like post some awesome stuff. You take some really good pictures, and then I could tell you were a foodie because in Poland you were going around, taking some good shots of places.
Thank you.
Also, I did see your gym on there as well because you shared it, and it is huge. What a setup.
Yeah. Please, like I love interacting with people and I love meeting new people in the sport. So like send a message, say hi. I'll definitely respond. Would love to meet you all.
Yeah, I'm sure you will meet most people, especially like in Stockholm. There'll be a lot of people waiting to watch, and we're super excited to watch you race. Not long now, is it? Like 7 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, I'll probably head out a couple weeks early to get used to living out there and time zone and all that consideration. So yeah, I mean that's gonna be like early-ish June. So yeah, like a month away. Yeah, pretty wild.
Have you been to Sweden before?
No. So all these new countries, have either of you?
No, I haven't been either. So I'm looking forward to it. It's meant to be really nice.
Especially in the summer, it's really gorgeous. So yeah, Stockholm sounds great.
Perfect.
Well, go on, Faye. You round
I was going to ask if you had anything else before. around her
No,
since you're
no.
on mute today. And
I
hopefully you'll be
know.
able to speak next time.
I
Alyssa, did you
apologize to everyone. Sorry.
did you have anything else that you wanted to add that we've missed, not asked, or that we should have asked?
Oh, that was fantastic. Just covered like the full spectrum of everything. Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
fun.
No, it
Appreciate you.
was, yeah, no, appreciate you coming on. We'll have to have a catch up in the future after World Champs into next season and see how things have changed once you're bedded fully into that Elite 15. But thanks
Yeah.
everyone for listening. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. It's given you a little bit of inspiration to get out there and chase your dreams, because evidently it works if you don't give up. So thanks, Alyssa, and absolutely the best luck in the world for Stockholm, and we can't wait to see you there.
Thanks, guys.